Hey there, folks. It's Leo Alderpold. Long time no see. Hope you're all doing well. World's still going crazy. Yeah, still a very, very curious time in which we live. But I think at least the next few weeks are going to be interesting. In terms of issues of global significance. Well, what's been going on? Get the housekeeping out of the way first. I'm smoking my my favourite Benny Thompson. Is it my favourite? I don't know. Actually, it's hard to say because Benny Thompson makes some just fantastic pipes, and I like each of them for on their own merit. This one in particular, I think, is my favourite in terms of the way that it feels in my hand. I think I've certainly introduced you to it before anyway. I've got no idea what shape you'd call that, but it sits in my hand like an egg, and it cradles perfectly. It's the most beautifully ergonomic pipe that I have. Beautifully tactile, wonderful to sit and feel and just feel in the hand. And I'm smoking in it some of this stuff. This is Lakeland Dark Unscented by Sam Gawith. The reason I'm smoking this is because I'm down to an uncomfortably small amount of my favourite Bad Nun 2, which I've been hanging on to for quite a while. And this stuff is, although it's not at all like Bad Nun 2, in so much as there's no Perique in it, to the best of my knowledge. What I like about it is it's dark and strong. It's dark fired. Yeah. So it's got that sort of thick, kind of treacly quality about it in terms of the smoke that it produces. Very dark, very, very strong, as I say. And I'm smoking this at the moment because this is readily available in this country. And although it is not a single scratch, not even close to being nearly as good as Bad Nun 2, it is the only thing that I've found thus far that is of that ilk that I do quite enjoy. So I'm nailing through the stuff that I can get hold of. Oops, if I don't throw it around the place, until I can get hold of some more Bad Nun 2. Anyway, yeah, and I'm drinking a Speckled Hen. Cheers. It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. So, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Well, I'm no longer in the woods. I am, as you see, still in my truck. But I've moved. I've moved out of the woods. And I have moved to a very, very different circumstance altogether, which is to a pub, or more specifically to the car park of a pub. So yeah, I've moved about 45 minutes west of where I was before in the Cerne Valley. And I've now moved over to the Marshwood Vale, which is just getting onto the border with Devon. Because I needed to get out of the wood where I was. I think I'd pretty much done my time there. I needed to be a little bit closer to my partner, who lives about 45 minutes from here. And well, the MOT on my truck's due, so I need to take it off the road, get a few things fixed, get it road legal again. And a chap who owns this pub where I'm staying very kindly offered me to park up here. So this is where I am. And he also is about to take on, as he's only recently bought the pub, but he's also taken on the rooms that go with it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have a room to stay in for a while I get out of the truck, get a few bits and pieces done with it that I need to do, get it back to being road legal again. And at that point I will most likely sell it, because I've got quite a bit of capital tied up in it. But yeah, it's proving to be quite difficult to run my business and live this lifestyle. Or correction, to build my business and live this lifestyle. So I need, at least for a while, I need to have stable space, be locatable in one particular place, have an office space where I've got room for a printer, for example, reliable internet connection, etc., etc., while my client base comes together. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. But it's not a bad place to be. Dangerous, living literally in the car park of a pub. But I have an arrangement with a fellow here who owns the place that I just take care of a few things for him. Keep an eye on the place, because being a very rural area, he's only open a few hours a day, most days. Yeah, and it's a fairly cushy arrangement. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. But this is actually one of my favoured parts of Dorset, because when I first moved here in 2013, I think it was, yeah, it was more or less to this very location that I moved, just up the road actually from here. So I have a few friends in the area, and although the people around here are perhaps not quite as amiable as those in the Cerne Valley from where I've come, they're generally decent, albeit a little more reserved. So there we have it. I anticipate being here for the foreseeable. When I move into one of the rooms, it'll probably be until the springtime, when he opens them up for tourists again. But by that time I'll have sold the truck, hopefully, bought something a bit smaller, thinking of something along the lines of a Mercedes 508, 608, something of that nature, that I wouldn't live in full time, but that I'd certainly utilise to get around to a lot of the jobs that I do. So I did have a job the other day. I had to drive a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or so, to get to it, for the sake of an hour and a half on site. So it's good to have a vehicle that I can just, which is, well, a lot easier to manoeuvre than this dirty great thing that I drive. and but at the same time something I can sleep in, spend a few days a week, whatever I needed. But my partner and I should probably be moving in together at some point next year. And much as she likes coming to see me in the truck here, it's kind of it's kind of my space, and it's not really big enough for the two of us. Anywho, that's it. Don't have much else in the way of news. But it's nice to be back down in this part of the world. I think if I remember rightly, I did a couple of videos. Yes, I did. Did a couple of videos some years ago from my friend's woodland, which is just about 2 miles in that direction. So I caught up with him for the first time in quite a number of years, actually, the other day, which was very good indeed. And he now supplies my firewood, which is great. But winter's coming, and it's that time of year which I like a great deal. And right here is not a bad place to be for it. What would be ideal is if I could keep my pipe alight. Goodness. So, yep, that's about it. I'll bid you folks a good day. Probably check in with a much more interesting video sometime soon when I think of something to do. In the meantime, I hope you guys are all keeping your wits and your heads around you, about you, in these crazy times of ours. And I will see you all again soon. You guys take care.